The year 1975 was a breakthrough year for the Hindi film industry, and this is still regarded a classic. Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now, and as a video ritual, remember to like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. And today, from the Blast from the Past section, for a change, I have watched a Hindi film. And this is not the first time that I've watched this film, but the recent Angry Young Men documentary that was there on the lives of Javed Akhtar Saab and Salim Khan Saab, that coaxed me to revisit this film that was there, and I'm so glad that I did. So the film that I'm going to be talking about today is the 1975 Hindi film which is called Sholay, and everyone would have watched it. And what is it that I'll have to say something different that has not already been said also? It's been such a pop reference kind of a film that is there, that everyone knows everything, and some of the references that are there, the pop references, are used even today. So I'll just speak a little about the documentary that was there and my experience of watching Sholay. I think that is something that I can say. It will not necessarily be a review per se in that bracket, but I'll try my best. So I was watching this documentary, Angry Young Man, which is streaming on Amazon Prime, highly recommended by the way. And I absolutely loved, the fact that they were the celebrated writing duo that were there, Salim and Javed. They, were telling their stories. They were, sharing their experiences and their rise to fame, how their struggles were there, how their peak was there, to how the separation eventually was there. And one thing that was baffling for me is, in a good way, is that they were charging a lakh more than the top paid star of the film. That is absolutely unheard of, and that is something that the Hindi film industry is lacking even today. They are lacking good writers. They're lacking, new voices. You're always, falling back and relying on someone like an Imtiaz Ali to bail you out, or someone like an Anurag Kashyap to bail you out, not backing the new age writers that are there. They have the stories that are there, but they're just not being backed enough. And that was the essential boiling point of the 70s that was there, in which the names of the films, were marketed on the names of the writers. And I think when that happens, it is an absolute winner for the industry. When writing is given importance, then you will see films like Sholay coming out, or films like Diwar coming out. Both of them, by the way, was in the year 1975 itself. And so I happened to sit, and my urge to watch Sholay was there after finishing the documentary. And I was sitting and I was watching the film. Of course, I have watched it as a child, but to faint memories only. But the dialogues are so pulpy and so massy that they're used even today. And I was actually counting the number of references that were there in films that are there. I was like, oh, this is used in that film, this is used in that film, this is used in that film, which means that the legacy of a product is such that its references are still used in times to come. And I think that can best be described as an encyclopedia that is there, and I was counting up to, I think, 15 I could count, some references or the other, where they used either the frames that are used, or the similar scenes, or the rendition of the scenes that are used, or used as spoofs that are there. There were almost 15 instances that I can count in the modern era that were dated to this film that was there, Sholay. And what do I speak of the resounding soundtrack also, whether it is the gallop of the horses that are there, or the engine that is there, absolutely, splendid sound design. I think I've not heard a better sound design. This is different from the background score that is there. The sound design is of the sound that you would hear the characters, do. Suppose if a character is on a wooden bridge, like the one in the climax, you would see the creaking sound of the wooden steps that are there, or the engine, or the horses, if they're galloping, if they're running, all of that. I think the sound design needs to be paid attention to, and I think this was outstanding from the sound design perspective, also from the editing, and you see in a scene that when Gabbar says ye haath mujhe de Thakur, and he says nai, and then the same dialogue is repeated twice before Gabbar goes for the hands of Thakur, and there's no bloodshed that is shown. It's absolutely cut to the current scene wherein you see Thakur without hands, and I think that is also the genius of the screenplay by Salim-Javed that is there. You don't see action that is there, but it creates a psychological impact in your head as to how gruesome or brutal it would actually be. And that what is there, I think, best describes the screenplay of how things are going to actually change and how things are going to actually unfold in front of your eyes that are there. And that is the best part of the screenplay, I would say. In another scene, you also see Gabbar aiming a gun at a young kid, and eventually, he aims and he pulls the trigger. Cut to, it goes to the sound of the engine that is there. I think these transitions that are there were absolutely masterpieces, and they need to be studied as well. Of course, when you see epic dialogues being repeated, the dialogues are absolutely a super hit here, and they manage to impress you to no bounds that are there. Also, the direction by Ramesh Sippy, I think it was a spaghetti western, you can call it a curry western also, which was implemented to perfection here. It was absolutely wonderful to witness these frames that were there. I think the framing was also very good, and I happened to watch the restored version, by the way, which is streaming on Amazon Prime. The performances also are iconic to the core. You see somebody like Amitabh Bachchan playing a second fiddle and holding his own. You almost see them in pairs, Dharmendra and Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan just briefly has a solo scene. Dharmendra, though, does have other solo scenes as well. Which means that Amitabh Bachchan is such a great actor, and that is why perhaps the critics may have panned the film back then, because he, spoiler, dies at the end. But also there is a sense of madness in the eyes of Amjad Khan. I think that is something else, and even Thakur, the stoic expressions of Thakur by Sanjeev Kumar sir, absolutely wonderful to witness. And I think these are epic performances, not only by the main four guys, but also people around them. Jaya Bachchan that is there, Hema Malini that is there, A.K. Hangal that is there, Viju Khote that is there, Mac Mohan that is there, Sachin that is there. So many characters, hold their own because they were so well written despite a limited screen time. I think this is another masterclass in screenplay writing as to how, you actually weave a character by giving him a presence who's not only there for a comic relief, like even say Surma Bhopali, like Jagdish, or अंग्रेज़ों के ज़माने के जेलर like Asrani. They are there for some purpose that is there in the screenplay, and they hold their own because they have something to do and not just stand. And that is, I think, the budding writers, if they can take note of that by the masterclass of Salim-Javed here, it's absolutely wonderful to witness. No matter what I say is not going to convert into words as to how great this film is, how great this piece of art is, through which the legacy of which is still alive today, through ads that are there, through certain films that are there that still use those frames, use those situations. And that is something that is missing in the Hindi film industry at the moment, I would say. The new voices that are there, you need new voices to actually thrive the industry. You cannot just rely on age old formulas that are there, and which is not to say don't use the references, but make it your own. Which, like, I love the line in the Angry Young Men documentary that said, Salim Khan sir had said that, this has been done in so many other films. What is the difference that we are doing? It's in the screenplay that is there. We are presenting it in such a way that the the audience, enjoy that, they are presented. Otherwise, the same situation and scenario is already there. So the screenplay is so important to the film, that it's almost a make or break. That is the foundation of a film. The story can be a simplistic, which is what the Malayalam film industry also does, by the way. Simple premises, complex screenplays. I think that is the way to go in another, era which is going to start in the current setup that is there. That overall, Sholay, absolutely a masterclass, masterpiece, and highly recommended. If you haven't watched, I'm sure all of you watched it. If you've not watched it, drop everything and watch that film first. That is the first thing that you need to do to study, as a student of cinema, how many things you can learn from it. And so therefore, with this, I also plan to start the blast from the past sections of other industries also, not necessarily Malayalam. The Malayalam, by the way, is going to continue. Okay, but let me know, if you've enjoyed this analysis that is there, this new blast from the past. I don't know how it's going to be accepted, so let me know. Drop a comment on what you made of it, and if there are any other films that you would like me to cover, older classics from other languages other than Malayalam. Also, if you're liking this video, please smash that like button. Share this video with your friends and family. Let's grow this Digi family together. And also visit my site Popcorn Reviews with a double S for all the latest reviews that are there. I put up a review of Alien Romulus earlier today. Do watch that. The film is out on Friday, but I happened to watch it earlier, so I put out a review. Also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is on my site and on my social media handles. I'll see you again soon with another video, maybe from another blast from the past. Let's see. Till then, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.